The internet's a pretty reactionary place, so whenever I hear terms like the MCU or the FemCU or the MC uterus, I just made that up. I assume it's 4chan nonsense and just move on. But this time they were right. Sometime after Endgame, all the guys left and the new crew just isn't working, as reflected in sales and reviews. Question is, why? Guys like this will probably blame the patriarchy, but back here in reality, I have 3 actual reasons. First up, these characters have 0 depth and we just don't care about them. One term you see tossed about to describe these characters is Mary Sue, which is a perfect character, no flaws, who wears plot armor. Among other issues, these types of characters are so smooth and flawless, they have no handholds for we, the audience, to grab a hold of them. Generally, we like our characters to go through the ugly duckling arc or the hero's journey. When a character has flaws, it not only makes them relatable as they overcome adversity, but it's also a really useful storytelling technique. The flaw is usually exploited by the enemy, or it holds the hero back somehow until they find a way to get over it. A perfect hero is boring, and their story always feels contrived. Look at Po from Kung Fu Panda. He didn't have any training or confidence. That whole story is about him defeating those problems through hard work and believing in himself. We like to see our heroes overcome because we want to believe that we can overcome. Trouble is, feminist politics preclude these women from ever struggling because that might imply that women have some kind of weakness, and that is strictly verboten. And the bland perfectionism is only one part of the problem. These ladies' introductions have all been so forced, giving us 0 reason to give a single shit about these characters. Despite Disney's proclivity for girl bosses, these characters ironically are all measured against the standard of their male mold. All of these women were introduced to us as, hey, you know this character that you like and you're invested in? Well, here's new female model. You will immediately like this one more. She's so good, in fact, she makes the old one look like shit. Your old hero is shit. As a matter of fact, we're throwing that one out. You don't have a choice now. Love her. Shockingly, the audience wasn't feeling this. It's also not the progressive message that they think it is. These people have no identity. All right, look at these people. What do you got? You got female Hulk, female Hawkeye, female Superman, female Black Panther, younger blonde Black Widow, non-binary person, and Blacked in America. I've said before that representation is just cheap marketing. It also apparently is sloppy seconds. Enjoy, minority consumer. It's so manufactured. Kevin Feige recently said that the girl power moment in the upcoming The Marvels is on par with the first time we saw all the Avengers on screen together. That's hilariously wrong. That moment was the payoff from an enormous investment. Literal years. This new moment is going to be just as phoned in as the girl power scene in Endgame. So we have 0 connection to these characters, or I really should say character, because there's just one, and it's not likable. Marvel was obviously trying to be efficient with their writing team because they clearly just used the same archetype for all of these women. Each character is born hyper excellent, but no one takes them seriously because of their gender, or age, or both. Then she dramatically proves everyone wrong, which isn't hard because all the characters written around these women are comically stupid. Then she is a gigantic, condescending dick forever and ever. Now guess, which character was I describing? Could be any of them. One thing I've noticed about Marvel's writers is they clearly don't see the difference between snarky and sardonic. Tony Stark is snarky. That's easy to remember because it rhymes. He's sarcastic, but funny. Jen Walters is sardonic. She's sarcastic, but bitter. It's subtle, but it makes all the difference in dialogue. Stark was a kind, reluctant hero. When they lost him, they lost the fun somehow. Just look at these characters. All right, we've beaten the She-Hulk horse to death. You got Captain Marvel, who is a masculine asshole Superman. Huh? Not talking to you, Fred. Oh. Ironheart is already shaping up to be this character, plus checking non-binary boxes. Then you got young girl Hawkeye, whose name is Kate. I actually had to write that down because I genuinely could not remember the name of Great Value Hawkeye. I haven't seen it yet, but supposedly Ant-Man's daughter is an angsty teenage activist now, who also just built a quantum realm mapping machine in the basement. You know, as one does. Same character. These characters are what I like to call homogediverse. They might look a little different and check a few PC boxes, but they're all the same. When they do appear on screen together, they might actually need like little nameplates and with stat sheets hovering over each character so you can remember who's who. That, of course, is assuming they do appear on screen because there might not be an audience left soon. I think Marvel execs spent too much time on Twitter, and now they're making movies for an audience that kind of doesn't exist. First, let's be honest with ourselves. The majority of comic book movie fans are guys. Now, bringing in some female characters is a great move to try to expand that audience a little bit. Completely changing over to one girl boss feminist character, not smart. It's not just that the male audience doesn't care as much and the female audience is smaller, it's that they're completely mismatching the story to the audience. They're still telling male power fantasies, but with female characters. It's not serving either group. This next part is fair game for you ladies to correct me in the comments, but I do want you to know I did get advice from a woman that I have known biblically for 20 years. Okay, we're gonna speak in generalities for just a minute. Women experience power fantasies differently than men. What? Every man on this planet thinks he's capable of heroics right now. No training, no experience. We all just know in our soul that if terrorists took over the Sam's Club while we were there, because we need to get some mulch because we didn't buy enough, she knew it wasn't enough, I thought it was enough, I didn't want to buy too much. We know we could improvise a counterattack and take them down. We're usually thinking about it while we shop. Like, I've got a 2-gallon jug of barbecue sauce in my hand. I'm like, let a terrorist come in here because Baby Ray's ain't gonna be fucking sweet. I tell you that. We earnestly believe that given superpowers, we would be instantly amazing because we already are. You know, the situation just hasn't called for us to like show it off yet. That's all. For example, when Pepper Potts puts on the Iron Man suit, she instantly knows how to fight. That is a male fantasy, that we all just know how to throw a punch, even though we don't. What's funny is I didn't even notice, didn't strike me as odd. Threw my wife off instantly. She watched that movie. She was like, why would she know how to fight like that? That doesn't make any sense. Anyone who knows fighting knows this. Okay, story time. I almost got in a fight at work when I was younger. Me and another guy button heads at work, and one day it got super heated and we almost had a literal fight. Another guy who had spent some years in the Marines said, you guys need to cut it out, but if you do want to fight, Greg is definitely gonna win. Damn right I will. As my head is filling the room, he pops it quickly and says, you didn't let me finish. You're both dumbasses, neither of you can fight, but Greg is like 6'6", and you, other guy, are like 5'9". I've seen inexperienced people fight before. You throw like half a punch, you tangle up, it goes to the ground, physics declares the bigger guy the winner. I only felt slightly less cool after that whole explanation because honestly, I didn't hear much after he said Greg would win. That is a male fantasy, and all of these new women are following this typical male power fantasy path, but they're being marketed to women. It shouldn't be surprising that neither group is interested. Hold on, sizzling hot take. Women do not feel like men. They are generally not as interested in immediate superpower. They like to see a flawed character grow into a powerful one because they do not possess the insane confidence that we do. They don't all think they're 10s like we think about ourselves.
Guys being dudes.
This is why popular movies with women are like Pretty Woman, She's All That, Princess Diaries. Fuck, I'm old. Somebody please comment a newer movie in this genre. These movies feature a makeover montage because they like to see the progression. Women want to believe they have the potential to be a 10 with work. Further, they don't generally care about world domination or control over a large realm of external things. You generally find they want control over their immediate vicinity. Most women feel their life is chaos, so they're seeking control of their surroundings. Most guys want to control that larger scope. You cannot argue with me about this? Go read any history book. So Carol Danvers having the power to patrol the galaxy isn't really going to speak to a ton of women who just want the power to patrol their daily life. Again, it's not that women don't want power or confidence, it's that they don't want them in the same way men do. But Marvel is still telling a story that appeals to men, but they're still casting and marketing to women. The sad thing about all this is that Marvel's setup leaves them no way out. They gambled big on Me Too sentiment, and it's not looking like it's gonna pay off. Ant-Man Quantumania opens up Phase 5 with a big old meh, continuing the downward trajectory from Phase 4. I really enjoyed Phases 1 through 3, so I'm not happy to watch this fail. I do hope, however, that this serves as a cautionary tale for other studios that the online political winds shift quick, and you don't want to be the one left holding the bag. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.